Howdy fellas, Frankie Day, back here again on YouTube. This evening YouTube, I have an inbox review of my group build entry of Speedys 197 1960 aircraft. Okay folks, on Speedys 1960 aircraft, it's not all jets folks. It's prop driven aircraft just as well. Any prop aircraft that was flown during the 1960s will fill the bill on Speedy's group build. And of course, there's a lot of jets out there. So, on my inbox review, it's going to be a jet. Okay, folks, before I get started, I'd like to wish everybody out there, I hope the fellows in the United States of America had a very beautiful Thanksgiving. In Canada, I hope you had a good Thanksgiving too. Other countries, not too quite certain, they celebrate Thanksgiving. They probably have other things, other events they celebrate. But in the United States, of course, everybody knows Thanksgiving. The way I look at it, folks, Thanksgiving to me is if this old bag of the wind can wake up every morning with air in my lungs, and I can build another model and be here on YouTube to entertain you great people out there, that's my Thanksgiving right there. Everything else, they can stick it in their kilts. Just kidding, folks, just kidding. Anyway, to make a long story short, we'll get along with my group build entry. And right here on my group build, I have here a monogram F4-C Phantom. Now folks, I don't know if this kit's newly released or not, but I bought it at the at Don's Hobby Shop where I get all the models at. And he says it's a good choice that you got this, Frank, because these are limited run kits. Although it doesn't say Revell on here, like most monogram kits have the Revell logo on there. This is all monogram, folks. All monogram, as you can see. It's 1/4" scale. It's in the paint schedule of the Vietnam paint scheme, and it looks like it's a dandy of a kit. This is an old mold. This kit's 1980. The mold for the kit's 1980, but new box top and new decals makes an old model into a new one. Before we proceed any further, fellas, we'll take the contents of the parts inside the box, and we'll review the kit and go with the video. Starting out with the instructions. The instructions are nothing but usual monogram instructions. It's almost like a booklet form, a pamphlet form. When you see the instructions, you're greeted with logos, do's and don'ts. On the aircraft, you got the paint schedule on there, which tells you the colors, all called out by the alphabetical codes. And opening instructions. Again, they gave you the scanning on the parts list and the paint schedule colors used. This thing is bilingual, like most kits nowadays are all bilingual. Not English anymore. Okay, folks, so this is an optional assembly right here. On the first part of the assembly is bill like this, Pence bill of this. Is the pilots right there. You can have the pilot either assembled and placed inside the cockpit, or you can be standing up ready to board the aircraft. Right here is the exploded views of the assembly of the cockpit itself. Number 2, on page 2 of the instruction pamphlet they give you, it gives you the breakdown how to assemble the fuselage together, the wing, bottom wing surface, the center wing section, and the 2 wing panels that fit on top. And the assembly procedure just as follows. as it gets in detail of the kit, like the undercarriage, until it's complete. Once complete, you have a choice of markings, which are all code where the stencils go at. Here's your paint colors here used. And you have your camo version on top of here, which is Vietnam colors. This is a training squadron. You got red and white stripes on the wing tips, and also in the middle of the fuselage. The paint schedule goes for camouflage gray in the bottom, medium green, dark green, and light tan goes on top. Those are traditional Vietnam colors. And the decals are, well, they're beautiful decals. Well, no mistake about it. A little on the thick side, could be a little thinner, but the Walther's decal solution I have will make this confirm like paint, no sweat at all. Here's decal sheet to give you. They give you all the stripes. All you gotta do is paint white and add these on there. That completes the schedule. Well, that's what the hardest part with the decals on the kit. Let's see here. Also, they give you makes life a little easier, fellas. You get your dollar console on your instrument panel right here. You get your decal fits on there. Makes life a little easier. Right there, folks, right here. And makes life a little easier. It's going to be a fun build. I'll start this Monday. I'm going to get hot on my USS George Washington SSNB 598. And I get that going. So that's the inbox review. A Mark Speedy 197's 1960 aircraft. Again, folks, it can be either reciprocal or it can be jet aircraft. The choice is yours. It looks like it's going to be a fun build. And also stay tuned for the first of the year because they're going to have some good builds. You got Steve. He's got carrier aircraft coming up. There's going to be a lot of entries there, and I'll be one of them. And Rob Goslin, he's got another group build coming up with D-Day. Now that's going to be a really a neat slapping group build, to tell you the truth. There's going to be everything out there. I'll even throw in an LST in that D-Day build. So that's a 6-month-long journey in the model community. So there'll be a lot out there, folks. So actually, you can take your time with this kind of build, though probably supposed to advantage your heart desires. And you got a lot going out there. You got a lot of builds coming up, folks. And right now, I haven't got too much in these builds. And right now, I'll start Mark's Speedy's 197's group build. I'll start that Monday. And I'll post another update video of my George Washington submarine tonight. And continue the assembly. And that'll do it right there. So it looks like it's going to be a fun build, folks. It'll keep me going. I haven't built an F4 family ages. Last one I built was a Revell 1/32 scale one. I believe it was an early 1970s kit. I've got it in my box down below. It doesn't have the Vietnam paint scheme. It has the USS Enterprise paint schedule on it. All gold gray with white undersides, and has a group commander's decals on there, and also the stenciling of the USS Enterprise. The F4 Phantom was one hell of a jet airplane. It was a successor to the F3H Demon. And the F4 Phantom entered service as early as 1959. And it was used from 1959 all the way up to 1978. And it was replaced by the F-18 Hornets. And you got F-16s and F-14s out there. Tomcat, F-14 Tomcat was the successor. It had J-57 General Electric motors. It had 2 of them. I used to see a lot of these Vietnam fellas just called low-level bomb laydowns. It was called napalm drops. These things come about 15-20 feet off the ground and drop 2 of those napalm bottles on there and go up to a vertical, and they disappeared. They're gone. Next thing you know, you just feel the mushroom cloud and the heat. And believe you me, you can feel napalm, folks. Many meters and many miles away, you can feel the heat. So it's not a very pleasant thing to see. But that was a tactic we used during war, and war is a very nasty business. There's no rules to it. And so that'll be my entry for Speedys 197's 1960 aircraft group build. And I'll get started on that this Monday. And it looks like it's going to be an easy build, a good build, and a fast build. I just take my time on them, folks. Like I said, when you take your time on them, they look good. You build them too fast, they don't look too good. You make a lot of mistakes, and you regret it. And like I say, no foot race when it comes to modeling. It requires lots of time, so take your time. Okay, folks, I'm ready to sign off right here, so stay tuned for my builds of the past coming up. And I got my USS Washington ballistic submarine, cell number 598, coming up this evening, so stay tuned for that too. And again, I'd like to thank everybody for your wonderful comments, and thank you for tuning in. And it was hoped from the bottom of my keel to the foretop of my darn deck is that everybody out there had a wonderful, safe Thanksgiving. Any of this drinking going on, stay home and do it. It's not better, it's worth it. I know you like a drink, have a few beers, go out in the bar somewhere, or go somewhere and have a beer and be socializing with public and view. And it's not a very good picture when you come out of there feeling tie-eyed. Then you see Christmas lights right behind you. Then you pulled over. There goes your Christmas. I've been pulled over plenty of times. When I got out of the Navy, guys, I just tried to adjust to being a civilian. I drank a lot, and I got thrown to Poogies plenty of times. But I learned my lesson every time I spent night in the brig. I thank Christ, my Father and Savior above, that I didn't hit anybody and cause an accident, because I could not live with myself when I took a human life away from being stupid. So anyway, folks, we got holiday season coming up. There'll be a lot of that going on, and so please be careful out there and take heed. Don't drink and drive. Stay home is the safest place in the world. You want to get pie-eyed, knee-deep, and tight. Home is the best place to go. Sometimes it's hard to drink a beer at home. You like to be out in public, but it's not worth it, gang. So keep your keel at the house and dry dock. Drink a few beers at home. Do your thing. No harm is done. You wake up with a headache tomorrow, but I'll tell you one darn thing. At least you got no tickets, get thrown in the brig. So that'll be that, boys. So once again, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. And may God bless. I love you guys very much. You guys are the greatest fellows in the world. And Freddie finally got a hold of me, and he's got 3 hernias that you need to get squared away. Those hernias are rough as a cob, boys. You got to be careful of those hernias. You can rupture yourself very carefully and get it treated. So Freddie, he's getting that all squared away. He'll be back on too, boys. So again, my thoughts and prayers go out for Freddie for a successful surgery. And he'll be back on YouTube again and ready to rock and roll with the big boys. Okay, boys, I'm out of here right now. So stay tuned to my builds of the past coming up next. And I got another update review of my USS George Washington, my ballistic submarine. So once again, thanks everybody for tuning in, and may God bless. Happy modeling. You got crazy glue in your fingers, grab the old lady's nail polish. Gone. Okay, boys. Frankie Day signing off. We'll catch you on the next video, fellas. Bye now, boys.